what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Footcandle Films. Film news and reviews from two guys who really like movies.
This episode is brought to you by the Footcandle Film Society. For a schedule of upcoming screenings and membership information, visit the Society's website at www.footcandle.org.
Hello and welcome to Footcandle Spotlight. This is our film review show, the little brother, the little sibling to the big Footcandle film show that we do once a month. The Spotlight is here to basically just talk about one film where one of us has seen a film and we want to talk about it a little bit, give you a little quick review. My name's Alan. With me is Chris.
Hello.
And we're both with Footcandle Film Society and here with Footcandle Films here on The Mesh. Just going to jump right into the spotlight after we give a quick sponsor thank you to Main Cellar City Club. Thanks again for your support of the show. They've been a sponsor with us for a while now. And here in downtown Hickory, they are just a great event concert venue. They got some great bands coming up soon. Little River Band's coming in February. I'm still really excited about that. Should be fun. Lead singer for Bad Company, I think, is actually there this weekend. I know it's a little late to be announcing it to our audience because you guys are going to be listening to this
Unless
days after.
Machine.
Right. Now, the Time Machine can help you go back and come see the lead singer of Bad Company tonight.
If you do that, you can see Bret Michaels, who was also there not too long ago.
He was there a few months ago.
If you got a time machine,
Kip Winger.
get all over that.
Yep. Man, with the Time Machine, you could really do a lot of cool stuff.
Yes.
It's probably a topic for another show.
Probably.
Okay. Main Cellar City Club. You can find them at maincellarcityclub.com. That's all one word, easy to type in your browser. Go visit, see what they've got coming up schedule-wise. And plus, it's just a great venue for weddings, reunions, other events happening as well. Great place, downtown Hickory. Thank you so much for your support. So, our spotlight today is the film Lincoln.
We can't tell our people they can vote yes on abolishing slavery unless at the same time we can tell them that you're seeking a negotiated peace.
It's either the amendment or this Confederate peace. You cannot have both.
How many hundreds of thousands have died during your administration?
Congress must never declare equal those whom God created unequal.
Leave the Constitution alone.
We are stepped out upon the world stage now, with the fate of human dignity in our hands. Blood's been spilt to afford us this moment. Now!
The Christmas season, holiday season is upon us. Oscar season's also coming up. So here come all the big movies. The floodgates open. We've got The Hobbit. We've got Hitchcock. We've got Life of Pi. We've got Django Unchained. We've got Les Mis. And then we also have Steven Spielberg's Lincoln.
Yes.
So, Alan, when I see Lincoln, I say, okay, I've seen the trailer. Mm-hmm. You see it's this big grand, looks like a big grand epic that's detailing the life of one of our presidents. I don't know that I'm all that interested in it because it looks like a typical historical drama type thing. So I've got all these other movies to choose from, but Daniel Day-Lewis is in it. He's usually pretty good. Should I, sway myself? No, go ahead and give Lincoln a shot, or would you steer me away from it and say, check out one of those other movies?
Go ahead and give Lincoln a shot. I'm with you when I heard about the film.
Okay.
This doesn't sound like the thing I get really excited about. I'm not a huge fan of biopics because I know where the story is going to go. Okay. I'm not a big fan of watching a dramatic interpretation of a film, a story where I know what's going to happen.
Gotcha.
And it's just a matter of how do we get from point A to point B. That's not interesting to me.
Okay.
If I want to know a real story about somebody, I'll watch a documentary because then it can just be, give me facts, give me authentic depictions, everything. So when I heard Lincoln was coming out, Steven Spielberg, I'm a big fan of his 80s and even early 90s movies, but haven't been the biggest fan for maybe the last 10, 12 years.
Okay.
So that would have been something that would have excited me 15, 20 years ago, not so much anymore. Daniel Day-Lewis, I'm a huge fan of, but it's still just a matter of, do I really want to sit down for a 2.5 hour biography film about a very important character in our history and someone I wish I knew more about before going into this film. But nothing about this just really looked too exciting. However, I will say you do need to be wide awake going into the movie.
Okay.
It's a talker. I mean, it is a talking movie. There's not a whole lot else going on besides talking.
Okay.
But I will say it's captivating the way it's done. I credit Spielberg for keeping it simple. There was no need to make anything more visually stimulating than it needed to be. A lot of the shots are very simple, very static shots. A lot of shots happening around tables, happening in meeting rooms and the halls of Congress. And he kept it simple. He let the actors and the words take off and go. And I really thought that was pretty impressive. There were only 2 or 3 times where I thought, okay, that's a Spielberg moment right there. Otherwise, it was a very straightforward movie. You almost kind of forget it's a Steven Spielberg film many of the times. But the actual story, this covers a period of Lincoln's life, a very short period of time.
Okay, so it's not a complete life.
Oh, no. This is basically after he just won his re-election for his second term.
Okay.
And the Civil War's coming to an end. And he is going to Congress to fight for passing the 13th Amendment, which is the one that would free the slaves, basically let them legally be free. Gotcha. The Emancipation Proclamation did something to that degree, but it was a little more of it didn't actually go into the law books. It didn't really hit the Constitution.
Gotcha.
That's what he's trying to do with the amendment. Is trying to get it in law, make sure it's there and it's rock solid and nobody can battle it away afterwards.
Gotcha.
So him trying to do that with the Civil War winding down and trying to negotiate all that, it's really a period of a few months. Okay. Right? It's a very, very short period of time we're covering in this guy's life. So that was interesting too, is to know that we're not going to be going and looking at from when he was a kid and growing up and all that. I thought that was a nice touch as well.
Okay.
It does go up through his assassination.
Oh, okay.
But that also, I think, time-wise happened fairly soon into his second term anyway. So,
okay.
So I will say, yeah, go check it out. Even if you're someone who watches the preview or hears about it and says, I don't really think that's quite for me. That's not my kind of film. Just go. Yeah, it's well done. The performances, I guess, let me just talk about that because you can't mention a film like this without.
Yeah, it's got a lot.
Good gosh, all the actors in Daniel Day-Lewis, Sally Field, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, James Spader, Hal Holbrook, Tommy Lee Jones, John Hawkes, who I really like, Jackie Earle Haley, who I really like. Man, it's just tons of these actors. Some of them extremely small roles. I think Jackie Earle Haley's like in 2 scenes and has a few lines of dialogue.
Okay.
A lot of them are just doing it to be a part of the production. I don't think really to make a big stamp on it.
Sure.
It's pretty much Daniel Day-Lewis, Sally Field, and I will say Tommy Lee Jones. The 3 of them really had the most meaty parts in the whole film. Daniel Day-Lewis, man, it's almost creepy watching this guy act. 5 minutes into his performance, you just completely forget who this guy really is. He is Abraham Lincoln, as far as we know, without having actual videotape, audio recordings of the guy. I mean, you got to imagine after watching this film, that's him. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That is the guy.
I'm curious, when I hear Daniel Day-Lewis, I often think of big performances, maybe just because I'm associating with There Will Be Blood.
Big showy performances.
Right. Like the guy in the Scorsese film, The Butcher. Bill.
Right, yeah.
So I'm comparing
Bill the
those
Butcher.
two, and in my mind, I feel like he's kind of becoming like an Al Pacino. So with Lincoln, does he actually...
Oh, yeah.
Because I would imagine, in my perception of Lincoln, I imagine him being more muted, or even though I don't know that much about
very nuanced, dialed down performance.
Really? Okay.
There's a lot of scenes where he's just sitting listening. And even watching him listen is really well done. Okay. No, it's not showy. Abraham Lincoln had a reputation for breaking into stories, kind of folksy, humorous stories at times. And he does that throughout the film. It becomes a little bit of a running joke with the others that, he's breaking into story again. But that's about as showy as he gets. The rest of the time, it's a very understated, quiet performance. Okay. There's a lot of scenes of silence of him. There's only one scene, one dialogue I remember where he has to get very loud and animated. It starts to get a little bit of that Daniel Day-Lewis showy performance, very, very slight. But then it's done. It's a couple minute scene, and the rest of it is very, very muted and underscored. No, it's really good. It's a good performance. Sally Field, I thought was great. I mean, there was an age difference between the 2 actors. Daniel Day-Lewis, a good bit younger than Sally Field, but yet he's also playing much older with Lincoln. Okay. So they totally work, and that I think they have some great dynamics between them. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, small little role, nothing spectacular. He plays Lincoln's son. nothing really stand out there. I'm actually kind of surprised he even took the role with all the big films he's been in so far and the leading roles, with this one being such a small part and really not anything interesting to watch. James Spader, I will say James Spader played a really against type role. He played a very crude, rough, kind of just overweight, slobbish guy who's basically going to go and almost be like a covert lobbyist for Lincoln to try to sway some Congress members to vote in favor of the amendment. Not at all. I mean, you see him on, it's him, but it's a role you never would have expected him to play.
So would you say, in addition to maybe giving you some information about Lincoln, even though it doesn't span his life, so you don't get a whole lot, would you say it maybe informs you a little bit about lobbying? And so maybe it's kind of like an informational film about lobbying. It's
very educational for anybody wanting to get a better handle on how Congress operated during this time period.
Got you. And probably operates now?
Well, I kind of wish Congress was more like it. I wish Congress was more like it was back in this movie.
Gotcha.
This was more like British Parliament, where everybody's shouting at each other and people are standing up and grandstanding and everybody's kind of cheering them down or just throwing out insults at them in the middle of their speeches. It was very raucous and it was fun to watch. I kind of wish it was a little more that way now.
So you're saying if it was that way now, C-SPAN would be a much more
it'd be much more entertaining. Absolutely. Okay. But it is interesting to see how much is the same and how much has changed, because there are some elements that are very, very similar. Even though Lincoln is seen as a very upstanding, morally correct person, and he is for the most part, he had to do some somewhat devious things to get this amendment passed. Now, he's getting a very honorable amendment passed. Okay, so he's doing it for the best good of the society, but he is having to persuade and pull some shenanigans, with these lobbyists to get things to go his way. Okay. So it is kind of interesting to see that happen in the film and see what this guy had to do, even to the point of borderline lying in places, where that would be kind of a illegal thing, to some degree in some of our politics today. Some of the stuff he had to pull was pretty underhanded, but yet it was because he was trying to do something very honorable. And so in the end, you supported the guy, but you could understand at the time how it was a very controversial discussion going on. So
as far as looking at this film in the midst of Steven Spielberg's overall canon, how do you feel like it plays? Do you think it's towards the top, or? Well,
it's definitely, as far as the last 15 years go, it's in the top of what he's done. Okay. But it's hard for me to look at it because I still don't see it as a Steven Spielberg film. Really? It just doesn't have that. It doesn't have that Spielberg magic that he tries to infuse into a lot of his films. This is a much more realistic, almost like a Munich type of thing, where Munich I always thought was just a very gritty Spielberg film. It just really had very little Spielberg type touches to it. This is kind of the same way. And like I said, other than 2 or 3 very distinct moments that kind of hit you over the head a little bit, it's like, okay, it's a very kind of glossy scene and the music's swelling a little bit. Things are a little cliche. It's a little meant to tug at your heartstrings. There were very, very few moments like that. Most of it was very much played straight. And so it's hard for me to evaluate it as a true Spielberg film. But from a film standpoint, if you had to put all of his filmography on a list and you look at the ones from the last several years, this is definitely one of the best things he's done in a really long time. I'll leave it at that. So,
interesting.
Yeah. So overall, no, I was impressed. I went into it not really expecting to enjoy it, and really did enjoy it. And there again, but Daniel Day-Lewis just makes this film. If it wasn't for his performance, I just don't think there's really going to be that much to grab you.
I think you've convinced me once again, and I think the concern of mine was looking at the trailer. I can tell, okay, it's going to be well acted, it's going to be well shot, it's going to be well directed because it's Steven Spielberg, but will it be interesting? I don't want to be bored, and it sounds something like what you're saying. You're going to be interested.
I thought it was very interesting.
Okay,
yeah. Michael's, oh gosh. I'm drawing a blank on the name. Michael Stuhlbarg, who A Serious Man, Coen Brothers, that we both really liked a couple years ago. And I'm kind of surprised he doesn't have more leading roles that I'm aware of, because I thought A Serious Man was a great film. I thought he was really good in it.
I haven't really seen him.
He's had a lot of small supporting roles in some other films. He's in this film.
Okay.
It is another very small part, but he does have a little bit more fun with his role. It's a very it's a fun role to watch. And so he has a little more screen time than a lot of the other actors do that have these small parts. And so now he's somebody to watch out for. He plays George Yeeman. And that's all I'll leave it at. He is somebody that they're trying to convince to come on board with them for the amendment. Okay. And his reaction in Congress at the end when the vote is being cast is very fun. So, yeah, very good movie. I was really impressed. And there again, for someone who does not enjoy biography films, people just acting out somebody else's life and trying to cover either a whole part of their life and hitting all the dramatic points in between. I've never been a big fan of that. Milk was one movie I thought really did the biography film right.
Got you.
I really enjoyed that Sean Penn film from a couple years ago. But outside of that...
Whereas something I think you've been on record in Footcandle Films, you're bored by things like Walk the Line.
Yeah,
and
it's just boring. You know where things are going to go. I mean, if you've read enough about these characters or these people, okay, yeah. The guy went into drugs. Okay, we know that. This is how he died. Okay, well, we're probably going to get to that in a little bit. This is how he met his wife. Okay, we're getting that story now. Yeah, you learn a little more details behind it. I think more people enjoy watching these films just to see how good the actors are playing those parts, as opposed to really watching it for a story. This movie, I actually was involved in the story. Even though I knew where it was going to end up, the route to get there was very interesting and not something I was very aware of.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Good. So yeah, that's Lincoln. I mean, it's still out everywhere. It's going to be out everywhere through the holidays, I'm sure. And I guarantee you we'll hear a lot about it in January, February, come Oscar nomination time.
Okay.
To me, it's a no-brainer. It's going to be a Best Picture nomination. It's going to be a Best Actor nomination. Will it have other supporting actor, actresses? Maybe.
To choose from,
yeah,
right?
It could.
Okay.
They'd be kind of surprised that Sally Field would maybe be the only one that I could see squeaking in there.
Okay.
The rest of them are
Best Actress or Best Supporting?
Probably Best Supporting.
Okay.
She's not in the film that much.
Gotcha.
Tommy Lee Jones was fun, but he still was being Tommy Lee Jones. I mean, it was just Tommy Lee Jones in a hairpiece. I mean,
but
that was
Tommy Lee Jones cashing a paycheck. He's actually
no. He's good.
Okay,
but he does have a little more of the showy role with the funny lines. He's the more comic relief part of the film to some degree, and he has a great ending moment for his character. But he was still Tommy Lee Jones. I mean, some people say it was a great performance. I'm like, well, it was Tommy Lee Jones just being himself on camera. I have a hard time saying that's a great performance. Daniel Day-Lewis and Sally Field, good performances. Just they played somebody different than themselves, and that's impressive.
Got you.
So yeah, definitely go check it out. It deserves a lot of the accolades I think it's getting right now.
Okay, cool.
Good. So that's our Footcandle Spotlight for today. Lincoln, I'm saying go check it out. And Chris, you have to let me know if you go see it in the next couple of weeks. Let me know what you think and if I'm on target, or you may have a rebuttal for me. Who knows? We'll see. Have you seen any of the films that I've done spotlights on?
I have not caught up with Skyfall.
And I haven't done Cloud Atlas yet. And that was the ones we've talked about recently. Yeah. So, okay.
I do want to catch up with Skyfall, though.
And I do want Cloud Atlas as well, although I'm going to have to wait for Netflix now or DVD or something. So, okay, well, that's Footcandle Spotlight. We'll be having our full show coming up in December, where we will be reviewing the film The Untouchables. And then we're not sure what our second film is going to be. We're going to try to come up with some good options for that. But the French film, The Untouchables, will be the one we'll be reviewing in the big Footcandle Film Show in December for sure. And then, of course, we'll have movie news and our recommendations for other older films during that same show. And then if we have some other spotlights during the month of December, we'll be throwing them out there as well, films that are coming out that we get a chance to go see. For more information on our film society, you can visit footcandle.org. For more information on The Mesh, which is the network you're listening to the show on right now, you can check us out at themesh.tv. You can go and view all the other shows on the network. You can go and look at past episodes of this show. Go back and play anything you want to. It's right there from a website or a mobile phone. You can get to it. And then, of course, we are on iTunes. If you're an iTunes user, you can go on the iTunes store, search for Footcandle, find our podcast, listen to it there as well. Drop us a line. Let us know what you think. If you agree or disagree with the review I gave of Lincoln, you can definitely let us know at info@themesh.tv. Email address is info@themesh.tv, or go on the Mesh website and fill out a contact us form. Either way.
Alan, are you going to be doing spotlight on Breaking Dawn?
Well, I've actually got an hour and a half long kind of verbal essay that I'm writing in the midst of right now. So we're probably going to make that a special episode in the next few weeks.
Gotcha.
Of course, we're joking there. I have not seen any of the Twilight movies. So
unfortunately, I've seen the first one, but I've tried to block it out.
Yeah. Still have not seen any of those. I'm going to see how long I can go without seeing
That's a worthy quest.
a completed film. I've seen the trailer for that Breaking Dawn, and ooh, boy, that does not look good. So, all right. I'm probably going to get some hate mail on that one now. So, all right. For Footcandle Spotlights, I'm Alan.
I'm Chris.
We'll talk to you next time.
Watch films in the company of like-minded people in the dark. Watch films in the underground. We won't let anyone know where you are. The films that don't make it to Carmike at the mall, or ones that were famous when Grandpa would watch films out of the reverence of the heritage of an art. Watch films through the courtesy of Footcandle Film Society.
Special thanks to Carpal Tuller for the show theme music. For more about Carpal Tuller, visit www.carpaltuller.com. You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.